Marvel Studios is returning to its roots and source of its inspiration, the comics. For the first time in the Marvel Cinematic Universe history, the studio and the comic publishing arm of the company are collaborating to create a tie-in comic for the Fantastic Four First Steps. While there have been official tie-in comics to the films before, it was a case of the comics working within the confines of what was already planned and established for the films, not a true collaboration from the ground up. To that end, Marvel has pulled out all the stops by bringing talent like writer Matt Fraction, who was allowed to visit the film set along with other creators working on the comic. The comic, a one-shot that releases July 2nd ahead of the film's July 25th release, is said to be designed to act as media that exists within the film's continuity. Is it comic collectin' time or what?
If you like physical comics, it is, for sure. I've been asking for this. I'm like, bring back the tie-in comics. Those were fun back when they did them. Did not know, probably maybe I knew at one time, that those comics that used to be done for the MCU were done outside of the scope of the film. So it is cool that they're doing this in conjunction with the movie. Matt Fraction is a huge name in comics. You will recognize him especially from the Hawkeye run that he did that's very singular and that they took a lot of inspiration from for the Hawkeye show. So love Matt Fraction, and they kind of did this with X-Men 97. They did a 4-issue sort of prequel to the series run, which was cool. So I wonder if this will be prequel or like within the movie, just not in part of it that we see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to them hopefully continuing to bring this back, because I think it's a fun way to bridge that comics world and the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they like do like a TVA thing too that was supposed to be like related to Loki somehow? Like it was connected?
Yes, I have not read that yet. There is a TVA. I don't know if it was just a series or a one-shot. I think it was just a one-shot comic. I could be wrong, but yes, they did do.
There was like a one for Ant-Man way back in the day too. They've done these in the past, but my take on this is like, I don't believe them that it's any more tied in. Like, I think they always say this, and then it's like, they're saying, oh, it's more connected. And I'm like, yeah, if they do something in this comic that you want to change in the future in a movie, you're going to change it. Like, you're not going to, like, I have stopped trusting companies to believe them that, like, what happens off screen in a comic or books, like, actually happened. Like, it's always secondary, and it's always like, if the director of the next movie decides they want to change something that happened, they change it. And so it kind of annoys me.
This is called the Star Wars Extended Universe effect, is what you're describing here.
Absolutely. Star Trek too. Star Trek had, years of no shows and tons of books that extended these stories, and I read a lot of them, and then all of that went away. They don't really take it away, but it's just like, if something conflicts. They didn't do a big like Star Wars did the big like, oh, this is not canon, this is. Star Trek just kind of messily like ignores things they don't want to think happened.
Yeah. Star Wars is like, well, we want to bring back this random, Jedi named like Bib Rebo or something, and then but we killed him in Extended Universe so that they just pretend like it never happened or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then everybody gets really, well, not everybody, but like some people get very angry about it. But yeah, I mean, Star Wars used to do this too. Like there was kind of speaking to that Extended Universe, there was tie-in novels. Like I remember whenever they announced like Solo, for example, like they were like, here's a tie-in novel that's going to release with Solo, and same thing with like the sequel trilogy, like tying in novels about Kylo Ren and stuff like that were supposed to be canonized. And I always think that that's really cool. Like it gives people who like that medium a lot more of an outlet. Like if you're really into continuity and you're like very into the world and the canon and the like, I want to spend every minute in the world that I possibly can, it gives you a lot of outlets to be able to do that. So I think this kind of thing, like, is it going to blow up and be huge? Like probably not, but like it's going to satisfy the people that want this sort of thing. And a lot of people who are hardcore fans are fans of both mediums. So I think it's a win-win. I mean, if you can get people who are respected in the industry, they can come in, they can tell a story, it's got the hype train behind it of the movie, and then you can tie it to the movie and say, yeah, these are the same characters, same thing. It's not going to affect your viewing experience if you read it or not. Like people that are into that are going to be really into that, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know about this comic. I might check it out because I feel like I'm the only one in the world that is the most excited for this Fantastic Four movie as opposed to
I'm excited
Thunderbolts. So I might just check it out just to have fun. I'm not a huge comic reader. So I don't know. We'll see if I can get my hands on it and check it out.
The interesting thing to me, I'm with you, Sarah. I'm really excited about Fantastic Four. I mentioned it on the cast this week. I think right now I'm mostly more excited for Thunderbolts. Maybe it's because
it's so around close, the corner, yeah.
But also, like, I just know those characters. But one of the Fantastic Four just is such a new beginning, and so that's exciting in its own way.
Yeah, I think that's why, not to get too off topic, I think that's why I'm most excited for that one as well, because I feel like that's going to be a good one to get us into the next chapter of what the MCU is going to be like.
Yeah.
And I never really, I'm sure I've seen the other Fantastic Four movies, but I never really cared about it until, the MCU became like this thing. So now I'm really interested to meet these characters. You hear about them all the time. Those movies were really big. So I'm just really excited to meet this team.
Mm-hmm. The one thing to tie it back to the story is that this time, one of the biggest things about this movie is this world building they're doing with, like, seeing what this world is like, where they are in their career, what the world has seen from the Fantastic Four so far, and, like, reading this comic will probably give us a good sense of that before we actually go into the theater. And I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah, that's a great point. You just sold me on finding this comic.
Yeah. That was my goal. There was a great tie-in comic from Star Trek 2009. It was just great, and it tied in so beautifully and had all these wonderful things, and it was written by the writers of the movie, so it was, like, really tied in. And then it's sort of like some of it's canon still, and then they sort of flex it out when they need to. You just watched a clip from Multiverse News. If you liked it, go to our channel. We got a whole episode that it comes from. So go check that out and hit the like and subscribe. And we got lots of clips you'll enjoy, but also full hour-long episodes of Multiverse News with lots of things that don't even make it to clips. So check us out.
You stay clippy.